welcome to the episode 4, part 4. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Not cinco, not seis, cuatro. Episode of the Gospel of the Oval Ball. And I just want to thank everyone for staying in touch and watching little tidbits here and there, because it goes a long way to spreading the word about the greatest game, whether that be rugby league, NFL, and of course a little bit of rugby on the side, with a little hearsay. And I'd just like to begin today by thanking Thames Water, idiotic drivers who have no excuse to be on the road because they clearly haven't passed their test, and of course the wonderful world of Waltham Forest Road Traffic Control, who have no clue how to sort out traffic lights, who have caused untold pain for every road user, bus user, all week this week. It's taken me 3 hours yesterday to do 4 miles. Tonight it took me half an hour to do 400 metres, and on Wednesday it took me 2 hours to do 2 miles. So well in there, Waltham Forest. That's why we pay £220 a month, so you can muck up the traffic lights at the Billet Roundabout, Billet Road, Walthamstow, Forest Road, everywhere. Absolute torture. It's an absolute disgrace. Put the lights back how they were. Sainsbury's should only have 6 cars coming out of Low Hall so the main road can flow. It's an absolute disgrace what's going on in our borough at the moment, and you need to get it sorted. And Thames Water, you are useless. Burst water main should be working on that 24/7. You put apology letters through the residents' houses and you go, look, we're really sorry guys, but we're going to get this done real sharp, real sweet, and it won't happen again. But no, what do? It bursts, gang comes down, digs a hole, and you leave it. And now there's a big hole down Chingford Mount Road. It's down to 1 lane, so both sides are snarled up. Ambulances, firemen, policemen cannot get through because of your sheer incompetence and laziness for not doing your job properly. I guarantee when you go shopping, you'll expect food on the shelves, no doubt. When you go and get petrol, you'll expect petrol, no doubt. Of course you'll get it because they're efficient workers, unlike yourselves. So sort it out properly before the people start turning on you. Now we're going to move on after that little rantage, because that's well deserved after sitting in traffic. Couldn't even make rugby training at the Mighty Ching at the hallowed fields last night because it took me 3 hours. I got there just as Sid and the boys and Nick and the lads and Dennis were all trundling off back to the change room after training in the swamp, hardcore in readiness for this weekend's massive tasty matchup. So apologies for not being there. Take it up with Thames Water and Waltham Forest Road Traffic Control. Now we're going to move on. Well, that was an interesting introduction to episode 4 of the Gospel of the Oval Ball, wasn't it? There's a turn up for the books. And don't get me started on my council tax bill either. As we progress into episode 4 and week 14 of the NFL season, and the pre-season of the Rugby League season, and of course the build-up to Challenge Cup round 1, we've got a little bit of flip-flop and a little bit of an interview between two legends of our game, two intellects of the Oval Ball. In one corner, we've got PQ delivering the questions. In the other corner, we've got Quilly giving his best, giving his utmost effort to answer these difficult, challenging questions in the run-up to the first round of the Challenge Cup and how the build-up at Warriors will progress. Without him in person, we know it's going to be an absolute session and a half building up. All those pre-season efforts are going to be there and in the bag. And as Starlo, the old coach at the Mighty Ching, once said, Viking, that's another one in the bag. Get it in the bank, get it in the system, prepare well, rest well, build the foundations, reap the rewards. Let's get it going. So after the news broke yesterday of the RFL's update on the tackle height, blown everybody's mind, I was going to explode on it today, but after getting so angry about it, I thought better of it, and I thought I'd leave that to my peers who are far more educated in the way of playing the game, let alone taking laws down from the RFL. The guys I feel sorry for most are going to be the referees having to manage it, because there's so much expectation put on their shoulders, and in the community game they're suffering at the moment because there aren't that many referees, and the pressure they're going to be under next year is so unfair. They've got enough to look out for, and now the RFL has really dropped a clanger with this one. Should have been more education around it, a lot more time, not just one season. You can't just change the tackle height overnight like what they've done and then expect a whole season to be complete with it. It's tantamount to complete incompetence again by the RFL, but that's all I'm going to say on it, because we got a lot to look forward to in the Challenge Cup with the West Warriors run, and I can't wait to get back with the brothers. So more on that later on. The Challenge Cup draw took place this week. As usual, it wasn't a very professional affair. They got the balls wrong in the second round, but there you go. That's the RFL in round 1 and 2. But this is where the top amateur teams get chance to mix it up north and south of the border, north, south, east and west, and we get to see what is about to occur come January 13-14, week 1 of the Challenge Cup. So what we're going to do here, we're going to have a quick chat. As I say, I'm PQ, obviously, of the Brotherhood, and Quilly's going to be giving us some of his opinions on what comes up in the first round of the draw. So without further ado, I'd just like to welcome Quilly to the proceedings. So how are you, son? Yeah, I'm not bad. Not bad, you know. Could be better. Could be better. But, you know, it's been one of those trying weeks, but now we're here to talk about the greatest game. So, did you get a chance to have a look at the draw this week? Yeah, I had a chance to have a quick look. Can't say I know a lot about some of the teams. Obviously, the Army and the Navy game is going to be tasty. After last summer or the summer before, when we took on an Army, a reserve set up, really strong, really well disciplined. Navy, top dogs. In terms of down south, I've got to say, and this will sound a bit odd being a Warriors fan, but I do feel sorry for Hammersmith and Medway, which is going to sound really odd, but it's a real shame they have to face each other and they don't get an opportunity to maybe go and play up north or get a northern outfit to come and face them, because then there's an opportunity for the three of us to all continue our journey, whereas potentially on paper, touch wood, we end up with us and either Medway or Hammersmith, which is an unfortunate thing, but hey, these are cold balls, hot balls in the bag of destiny that is the Challenge Cup round 1. That's a fair point there, Quilly. I take it on board. I take it on board. Who do you see winning out Hammersmith and Medway? And any news on Newsom Panthers, who we're going to play, I believe? Well, Hammersmith, based on previous form, and you've got to think the strength of the division and the way Hammersmith developed in the last 12 to 18 months, on paper it's going to be Hammersmith, but this is cup football. Medway have got some talent coming through. They're a real tight unit, Medway. They're going to get in there. They're going to look to niggle Hammersmith. Hammersmith, niggling giants themselves, should be a real tasty affair in London on that weekend. On paper, you've got to say Hammersmith. On the day, Medway could play the conditions better. You never know, depending who turns up. That said, will Vince Spur boot up? Will Jared play a starring role? Or will they let it out to the young whippersnappers who won them so proudly the SCL Championship? We shall see. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that one. And then obviously on to the Warriors, where we were almost last in the hat. Not sure about Newsom Panthers. Don't know a lot about them. I have heard Yorkshire champs. I will be looking that up. If we prepare well, we're a tough outfit to beat, especially on home turf. We love travelling. You know, we proved that last year when we went up to Skella and obviously to Widnes, which unfortunately we couldn't overturn Widnes, which we should have done. I'm sure John Keir would acknowledge the fact that we are a tasty outfit, which everyone knows. You know, we're certainly bringing that back and we'll continue to do so this year. In terms of the first round, I myself will be plugging this game non-stop come the new year. We start building it this side of Christmas. I know Warriors will have their promotion machine, that is the black and green of West 5. But with a little help from PQ and myself and the Evertanning and the Always Inspiration, and of course the Viking Aching, who's always there and thereabouts. Of course all our sponsors, Kiwis in London, who will unleash their promotion machine as well. We're going to get bodies down and we're going to make it a real hostile environment for our visitors that day. Make them feel as welcome as possible. Give them an intense game of passion, commitment that is all good about the M25 Rugby League. We'll be looking at putting on a performance that shows what kind of champions we continue to be. And you've got to be on your guard. You've got to be on your best. You have got to be intensifying your defences, locking down your loads and unleashing your offence when you get the opportunity. You see that space, you create it even more and you penetrate all the time and then you dominate throughout. Have a really good beer with them. We will send them back home in their coach a little bit dishevelled, a little bit sad, and that is going to be the game of the weekend. Oh, see, you can't stop chit-chatting there, Quilly. Blimey, what a surprise. We haven't heard that in a while. So, due to the nature of my Tuesday session, I was unable to join the Warriors of West 5 at the home of Rugby League in West London. That is Wasps. Numbers were good, session was good, build-up looking tasty. That's all I'm going to say on it. So I'm just going to leave it to Quilly just to wrap it up and see what we come up with before we move along onto something else. Absolutely right. Absolutely right there, PQ. Because this is one thing we don't want to do. We don't want to give them any inch, any centimetre, any hairline of getting underneath our skin. We're disruptive. We want to be defensively solid, offensively wild and creative. We want to be creating to the max, which we know with the players we've got there, undeniably creating from nothing. This Newsom Panthers have got to be playing their championship best to overcome a ferocious West Warriors side, and I can't wait. I really cannot wait to get back to Acton, see the boys getting in amongst it, watching that game in the flesh. First rugby league game of the season is going to be tasty. So I just want to thank the boys for giving up their time this evening, especially with all the heroics on the road that they've had to put up with the last couple of days, and give up their time to join us on the Gospel, episode 4, of course. So thank you again, PQ. Thank you again, Quilly. I look forward to hearing your opinions on training round 2. So what we're going to do now is pass you over to the Viking. And he is going to be talking about the black and gold of the Berg and our current decline in the last 2 weeks. Let's see what that lad has to say about what the hell is going on in downtown PA. Well, thank you very much for that. The Viking here. We're going to be talking Steelers football for the next couple of minutes, which at the moment, if you're a Steelers fan, is pretty painful at that. Loving the black and gold of the Berg. Everyone talking about Mike Tomlin and his incredible unbeaten record in all his seasons, but what have we to show for it? 1 Super Bowl win, 1 Super Bowl loss. We've had Big Ben for all those years. Now he's retired. We've got a lot of superstars that are retired. We've got a couple of great players in there at the moment. We were 7-4 going into last week's game against the Cardinals. The Cardinals, who are 2-9, mind. Kyler comes back. Previous week, they got tonked. They come to Pittsburgh, in the rain. They play indoors. We play outdoors. We play Pittsburgh football. We lose. We get smashed in our own back garden. How does that work? We got Najee Harris running riot. We got Warren running riot. And what do? We end up losing the game. That just can't happen. Just can't happen. No matter what the weather, we should be out smashing lumps, dominating the offensive ground, and our defence should be smashing lumps as well, which they are. All right, some might say TJ is being held back. That's TJ, what, number 90? But if he's being double teamed, triple teamed, that means someone's free. Highsmith's got to be free, or Cam Hayward. Someone must be able to get through to Kyler. And then the secondary has always been notoriously weak, even in our Super Bowl teams. We're just not happening. And then we get to play New England, who's the best franchise in the history of the game for the past 20 years. They're on a bit of a downward spiral. Lost 6-0 to the Chargers last week. 6-0 in Foxborough. They come to us Thursday night football. The markets reckon it'll be a 30-point game. It's 21-7 in the first half. And we are abysmal. There is no other word for it. If we're going to suffer, we've got no Kenny Pickett at the moment, which is really unfortunate because he was ripping it. Even against the Cards when he started. The week before, hit that ball down the middle. Unfortunately, like most contact sports, you pick up an injury, you're out for a week or 2. We suffer as a result. Mitch Trubisky maybe hasn't had a lot of snaps, struggles when he comes in, and the rest plays out. For whatever reason, we just seem to be going back to Matt Canada's way of play. Why aren't we playing Pittsburgh football? We used to ram that ball right down the opposition throat. Didn't just pansy arse around it, ram it down their throats, crash it up 3 times and then kick deep. Then the defence comes in, holds them, and our offence would just be pounding that ball. And what are we doing? We're trying to keep up with the others. We haven't had a throwing game for years. Even when Big Ben was in, we had these set plays that he would have to break out his own playbook because the offensive line was a little bit weaker than it should, and Big Ben was having to do things on the cuff, and it come off, and we were probably very, very lucky. But Kenny can move, he can throw. Now he's unfortunately hurt. We're in the doldrums at the moment. Maybe just throw Mason Rudolph in because Mitch isn't doing it. Although he's a former number 1, former first-round pick for the Chicago Bears, he's still a talent, but maybe he's not getting enough snaps. Maybe he's not getting enough of a look in the offensive room, in the quarterback's room, but they got to do something because if we don't do something quick, Big Mike, miss out on the playoffs. Top 7, we're going to struggle now because the AFC South have now overtaken us, and the only other one there, Baltimore, look like they're going to run away with the division. If they get a win this week and Cleveland slip up, it's pretty much it's theirs. Chokes me, really chokes me if we're losing to Baltimore, which we're going to have to play them this month. Frightening prospect, frightening prospect. We need TJ and the boys to really unleash and then hope that the offence can hold it all together. Let's see how the weekend pans out, and then we'll come back with our NFL review next week as well. Well, what an incredible week of coaching that's been. Fantastic after school, terrific play, hands even better than mine, who knew. Friday sensational double session at the Home of Rugby League in E17, never lets up. Another 30 children all plying their trade with the greatest game and the oval ball. Pass, catch, try, score. Incredible week of sports coaching and testament to what is going on here at PQ's Viking Rugby, in addition with the gospel of the oval ball. Stay tuned. Just want to continue to say thank you to everyone for staying and supporting my new journey into the world of podcasting and the gospel of the oval ball. It means the world to us, and all I would ask is just keep listening, keep watching, keep sharing, keep retweeting. Anything you see, it's all good stuff. It's all going to a good home that is PQ's Viking Rugby, the gospel of the oval ball. Taking the greatest game on a journey that will be bringing back tasty to rugby league throughout on every single platform we can get our fingers on, every single platform we can unleash the vocalistics from the ever-sounding, always inspirational Viking, that is PQ, Quilly and me. So thank you very much, and let's continue this journey together. So if you like what you've heard and you like what you see, just subscribe and share this to as many people as you can. We're all on all the social media. I.